stage now, in the spotlight, but keep your mask on.
Welcome into DeathPiles and Taxes, where you came to learn about eBay and or taxes. I am Derek, aka DeRoy Everett, the EKG Man of the Year. I'm going to say eBay Man of the Year. Sitting across the desk from me is Adam Beasley, the tax aficionado and eBay man. Adam, how's it going, my friend?
Isn't an EKG one of those things you need for your heart?
Something for your heart, I don't know. I'm just throwing out acronyms. I'm going to make it eBay killing guy. How about that?
Hey, I like that.
I don't know.
That's a little better tune.
And we're back to our normal format. Last week we had a special bonus episode about your life. Have you had any family members reach out and disown you yet?
I didn't tell anybody about it.
Oh, people heard. I've seen the numbers, and we had a little spike.
Well, that's a good thing to know. I like I said, I haven't even really listened to it myself yet.
I know you haven't because I put something special in there for you, and you have not commented on it yet.
Isn't that funny? You always send like that email like that's got something. If you finish reading this, I'll give you $100, and
yeah.
Hey, you get that thing I sent you? Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah, look it over. Yeah, we had a place I used to work at that had it was in the instructions for a job or whatever, and every now and again be like, hey, if you go mention this to so and so, I'll give you $20, like right in the middle of it or end of it. And
yeah,
that $20 never got handed out very often. So yeah, I had a little surprise for you, but
I've gotten about 10 minutes in, so I'll keep going.
Okay, well, you should have had it in the first 10 minutes, but
I don't know if I caught it then.
All right, we'll talk about it off the air because people have been telling me, and I've been hearing, I got a story for you.
All right.
You know, we usually bring up my dad, so he listened to the episode.
All right.
And he said, I almost stayed the night at Sherry's once.
Oh, hold on. What did Denny say?
He said, well, first off, he said, I need to tell you something. Okay. He said, I almost stayed the night at Sherry's once.
Not Sherry's Berries.
No, not Sherry's Berries. Sherry's Ranch from the previous episode.
Wow.
And I said, wow. Yeah, I said, what? I said, no, you must have listened to the podcast. He said, yeah, I listened. And he's like, I need to tell you this story.
I hope so, Denny.
So now I have to tell you this story because it's a good story.
Before we get into that we've created this relationship where we used to talk all the time. I just spent the day, a couple hours with you earlier today, but it was like awkward.
Because we can't talk.
We can't talk. It wasn't like, dude, you're not going to believe this. My dad used to stay at the whorehouse.
No, I mean,
What?
Almost. Well, we'll get. Yeah, no, it's all this stuff. And every time and we were standing there, I'm like, I can't tell you that. Can't tell you. I think I told you. I'm like, I got stuff to tell you, but we got to save it for the podcast.
It's like superficial. So, why was Dennis hanging at Sherry's?
Well, so back in the day, he had his sales routes, like we talked about that episode, right? So he went there with his boss. He had to run down to Pahrump, and I guess it was a busy weekend, and a lot of the hotels were booked up. And so they were at one of the hotels, and the person at the hotel clerk said, we don't have any rooms. And they said, well, is there anywhere that has rooms? Because they didn't want to drive back to Vegas or anything like that. And the guy said, well, I don't know if the guy or girl. Person said, well, Sherry's, the ranch probably has a hotel, or has available rooms. I guess they were renting out rooms or whatever. And his boss says, tell them we'll take it. And so they get back into the truck, and my dad's like, what are you doing? And he's like, we found us a room. And my dad said, this is all according to Denny. I said, well, I'm not staying there. That place is a brothel. And his boss goes, oh, it's not. It is not. Those things, like that's not true. Whatever.
That doesn't exist.
And he's like, no, that's a brothel, and I'm going to be sleeping in the truck. I'm not staying there. And so I guess he said, well, let's just drive out and see.
Okay.
And so they drove out there, and sure enough, you've been there. There's signs. You can tell what's going on in that place, apparently. And his boss was kind of floored and said, it is, or something like that. So they drove back in, and they found something. They went to another hotel or casino to see if anything had opened up, and the person got a phone call, and the hotel room was canceled right then. He said, we'll take it. So they didn't end up staying the night there, but that was my dad's first words to me. I don't stay the night at Sherry's.
Wow. Well, you should have told him to pick up some swag so we could have slinged it on eBay.
I now would be going for some good money, I'm sure.
That's back pre I don't know, like back when it was just a bunch of trailers. So I don't know if I'd call it really a hotel room.
I don't. Apparently, they were renting them out, but I said never mind. I won't say family friendly show.
Family friendly parental guidance.
Yeah, I had to throw that out there.
I heard that. So, well, I got a question for you. Like it says, we were on the trip. We got back. We went back east, went to New York and New England and upstate. So we went back there. You know me. We like to dabble in the treasure hunting while we're there.
Sure.
How do you know the difference between trash and treasure?
All perspective, right?
I saw a lot of trash.
A lot of trash. I guess it's depending who's selling for. I mean, that's the easy thing is just look it up, check your comparisons, and if it's selling, it's selling. But you can kind of take a quick eye and see that there's not much sometimes.
There's a lot of people that hold on to some stuff. So one thing that we always like to do, we like to get license plates. We like to get license plates, and they don't have to be vintage. They just have to be a license plate that says Connecticut.
Yeah.
We stopped, and like nobody had them. This one gal, I don't even remember, it was Podunk, New York, or Podunk, Pennsylvania, in the middle of nowhere. And, oh no, I don't have any of those. And it's like a 4-story abandoned building.
Well, why wouldn't you have in your 4-story abandoned building a license plate?
I don't have any here, but my uncle's place down the road's got some, and I've just been trying to get it over here.
I've just been trying. Uncle Jethro's gone down the road, huh?
We stopped at a couple places, and there wasn't anything life-changing, but we did look.
Well, here's the thing, too. We're out more in the Midwest, or I guess we're Intermountain West to be technical. Population's a little more sparse, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people back east, so
it's true.
There's a lot of people doing what we're doing. I mean, our biggest demographics, I mean, New York's one of our big spots, and back east, if you look all the time, and California, but I guess that's just where a lot of people are living, right? So, I mean, right here, we kind of got a sweet spot because population-wise, we're doing, something that's not really overdone. Back there, you just got a lot more competition, so, I mean...
Hey, can I shout it out?
Shout it on out. Do what you gotta do.
Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi.
Okay.
We got a Down Under listener.
Well, listen wherever you're at.
We got somebody from Australia, and we also have somebody from Ontario and Manitoba.
So were you going to like thrift stores, or were you just trying to find junky barns? What were you doing?
We went to a couple thrift stores. I mean, we didn't get a chance to go to like Salvation Army, and we could have, but we just it wasn't that emphasis on the trip. But we're trying to find some license plates, because I didn't think I was going to find it at Salvation Army, which maybe I should have looked, but
yeah, you never know.
Just these bigger thrift stores and things.
So I was trying to sell license plates on eBay at one time, and they had some weird policy. They have to be like 5 years old, or they have to be a certain age, so that people aren't trying to put them on their vehicles and pass them and put new tags on. So it might be something like that. Maybe there's some weird laws with getting them, and people do weird stuff with things. So that might be a little bit, maybe it's not as easy as it used to be, because, people are criminals sometimes, just enterprising things, but...
Well, all I know is we had a good time. Good time had by...
Well, guess where I went while you were out gallivanting all about.
The point of the mountain, did you go visit your cousin?
Well, you always stop and put money on the books, but you don't always stop and visit, because you can never get out of that place. Once you get in, you get out, you put some money on the books, you have to ask and sit and talk to them. No, I don't have a half a day.
Go through the glass door.
Go through the glass door, let them pat you down, make sure you're not bringing in any nail files, and talk through the phone.
Leave your prison wallet at the door.
I always carry it with me for safety.
That's a good thing.
But no.
Where did you go?
I went to, so we have a local, what would you call that? An amusement park. We had Lagoon Day for my work.
Ooh.
So we go to Lagoon, and the company gives you tickets, and they have a big luncheon. And
so for our other listeners, it's like an amusement park.
Yeah, it's like an amusement park, kind of like a
roller coaster,
Six Flags or something. It's got a lot more roller coasters and stuff than I remember.
And upscale, not like a fair, but more.
Yeah, it's above a Carny, but below a. It's not a Disneyland or nothing like that, but. It's nice for what it is. A lot of people from like Idaho, Montana, I noticed there. Yeah. I guess maybe they're traveling. That's the closest theme park. I don't know. So we're walking around, and they still have those carnival barker gimmick people, but they're all kids.
Oh yeah.
So you got some 14-year-old yelling at you, "Ball in the bucket, winner every time. Come on, step up, friend." Like that kind of thing.
Have you seen the commercials about those?
No.
Like it's okay. like they show this guy, a Carny guy, showing up, and the mom asks, like, "Oh, is this ride safe?" He's like, "Oh no, we just pulled in last night and I just threw it together."
Yeah, well,
What happens if there's a problem? Oh, we just pick up and leave. It's okay.
shout out to friend Pelican. So he wasn't a big Carny goer. Growing up, we were big Carny guys.
Oh, that's all you had.
Biggest thing that came to town, and we were going to go spend our days at the carnival, you know.
Yeah, and the zipper, the big flipper.
That was the
around there.
one. So old friend Pelican.
Briefcase?
I'm going to call him Pelican for this story. This is
Okay.
incriminating him. Not the Pelican and briefcase are the same person, because they're obviously not.
They're not.
So we're on that zipper thing,
Uh-huh.
and I look over to him and I said, "Don't worry, Pelican. Some drunk guy just put this together last night, high on meth or something like that. Nothing to worry about. Totally safe."
Yeah.
Apparently, he hadn't put that one together. And then when we start spinning around, he just thinks he's going to die, which, you know, good chance he could have. Probably not the safest things in the world, but this is a little more upscale carnival.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's an amusement park with the Carny games. So there's this game where they guess your weight or they guess your age, right? And my wife says to me,
Oh gosh.
she says, "You ought to go do that and see if they can guess your weight or your age, and we'll get one of them prizes."
Okay.
I mean, you know. And I said, "I will save myself the embarrassment of having some 16-year-old girl try to guess how much I weigh and or how old I am. And we'll go to Walmart and I'll buy you a $5 stuffed animal and just save that embarrassment."
Well, we just had the conversation before we got on about the new chic look you're throwing up top.
Yeah.
You're going bicking it and pushing out the beard.
We're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna give it a whirl. Grow the beard out and.
Grow it on the face, but not on top.
Well, if I could grow it on top, I would, but apparently Mother Nature has different plans for me, so, you know, you don't want to be that, I don't know, it just kind of gets to the point where it just doesn't work, so.
Funny thing you bring up the Carnies. On one of the groups that I follow, somebody was showing...
Okay, go on, I need to hear this out.
Somebody was showing, you know, like, "Hey guys, what's this worth, or what is it?" And they were showing, like, the little pictures of, like, what you'd win if you threw the dart through the stars, and, you know.
I'm on a story bender today.
It was really kind of funny, because that was the big thing in Pahrump, was the Harvest Festival. I mean,
yeah.
You look forward to it all, because, I mean, we didn't have anything like that. And,
Shout out to the Ute Stampede, you've seen it.
welcome to the Ute Stampede.
Yeah, I'll do my... Hey, when the Ute Stampede comes, remind me, I'll do my Cotton Rosser impression, the rodeo announcer. I'll give you a whole throwdown, but it has to be that certain season.
In about a month.
About a month, remind me, we'll do that.
You get, like, these really crummy Carny prizes, but they give you these pictures, like, of Michael Jordan or of scantily clad women.
Britney Spears was a big one in the 2000s.
Yeah, it was kind of like one of those. But somebody was trying to sell it on eBay, and guess what? They were selling them. So
really,
hold on to that Carny
really?
stuff.
I might have to go do some digging.
I'm sure you got some.
Yeah, that was the big. The Carny'd come to town, and you'd go down and you'd play all the games, and you'd ride all the rides, and well, you said I follow a group, and that's why I started laughing, because I thought, are you in some sort of a Carny barker group where you're like trying to do taxes for these independent contractors working the carnival circuit?
Let's just say their workers' comp insurance is real high.
Real good. Yeah, I'm sure.
Liability.
No offense. If you're a Carny out there, you're traveling around a lot, you could probably get some thrift stores. You could probably make pretty good money on eBay.
You're hustling.
You're hustling. I mean, that meth's keeping you up anyways. Get working, allegedly. So, friend Trevor Hooper that comes up in, you know, most recent podcasts, I don't know if he listens. I haven't heard anything from him about all these stories I've been sharing about him. So we'd go to the Carny, and we were like 16, 17-year-old boys. And bad thing is, a kid that grew up with us was working the basketball shoot.
Oh, no.
And so friend Painter would, not so much harass. Mike Painter's one of the better people I know. Like, he really is.
That's
like,
saying a lot.
Yeah, well, no, he really is. Like, we would harass this guy, but Mike's like trying to be his friend to him, right? Because he's friend to the friendless like myself. But this guy is like, he doesn't smoke, but he's got cigarettes to look cool now. He's in the carnival, and he's, you know, he kind of talks like this. And Mike's like, come on, man. Like, just, you don't need to be a Carny, basically. Oh, Mike, you don't know. You know, something like that. So we're going around, and there's the ring toss, where if you throw the ring, it goes over the
bottle.
It wasn't a bottle, though. It was like a wood block with like a
stick
or something. You'd win a prize. So Trevor Hooper gets his gets his rings,
Okay.
and he's throwing them, and it goes over. But you know how it's always kind of rigged or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it won. I'm trying to remember. I think it won. But the girl running the booth, who was probably about our age, but Carny girl, wasn't going to give him his prize for whatever reason. So he gets mad, and he's shouting and hollering and telling her to give him a prize or something like that. I can't remember if it went over or if he just wanted a free toss. Something like that. And so, to the point that other carnies are coming, like, there's going to be a carny throwdown with us because he's harassing this poor worker to give him his prize because he got the ring over the bucket, over the stump. And she starts crying, the head carnies come over, and I think they just gave him a prize and we left. But that was the fun of our summer, man, was going down, then you go to the city pool after the carnies had been there and bathed in the pool. You can't go swimming no more. It was good times, man. I don't know why, but
P-Town and Nephi weren't that different.
not that different. I mean, Jimmy McKnight, bring him up every episode. These are all my high school friends we still talk to.
That's
We
true.
were the carnies, you know. We enjoyed it. Probably in another life, or there's split dimensions and all these alternate realities. Somewhere, me and my high school friends are all working for a carnival somewhere,
Bizarro world.
or in Lagoon, or yeah.
The best part is if you guys would have kept that knowledge, all that stuff that you would have had, and waited and sold it on eBay, you'd be rich.
Well, apparently, I need to go look for my Glass Guns and Roses pictures or whatever you'd win
See,
at the old
exactly.
you'd win at the dart toss.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I know all about it.
Yeah, Motley Crue.
Yeah,
Yeah, Megadeth.
Yes, scantily clad
It's funny.
woman. And
Anytime you
what's it
bring up
worth,
those groups, for some reason, like that's like the in thing.
yeah,
I really paid attention while I was back east, looking at people's clothing. I wanted to kind of get an idea on what people were buying and what people would wear, and it was like the more unique, the more off, out of the ordinary it was. That's what people wanted.
yeah. I don't think I've shared it on here, but one of the phrases going back a couple of years that everyone was saying is, "What should I buy? What should I buy?" Right? You want to buy something some hipster in Brooklyn, New York is going to pay $20 to $50 for to wear. That's your key market, right? Because they're not going down to the Salvation Army.
No.
There's not the opportunity in a lot of these places because the markets are so saturated.
No,
so
they want something different.
when you're at your random, yard sale, thrift store, whatever, you looking at these things and you're like, who would wear that? Would a random hipster type kid in Brooklyn, New York wear it? Then buy it and mark it up and sell it to them.
Hey,
So
there you go.
that's the idea, anyways. We've been Carny talking, man. I don't know. I've talked about brothels and carnivals. This is an eBay tax podcast that your kids can't listen to no more.
Just derailed.
Yeah, the Derailed podcast.
Derailed by Deroy.
So here's something. I don't know if you've been out of it. So I always say follow me on Twitter, and I've started Instagram.
Yeah, you were
right?
telling me about this.
I was going to tell you this earlier, and I said no, so it got awkward.
Yeah, waited.
So what I've started to do is, because here I'd be sharing bolos. Like the last few weeks, I've been sharing these bolos, right?
Yeah.
But by the time I share them, it's a week's past, or what's going on's past, sometimes a couple weeks, whatever. These items might be hot, flash in the pan, and gone. So if you follow me at DRoy Everett on Twitter and or the Instagram, I'm starting to share my bolos as I'm out buying them.
Ooh.
So you can get them right then, so you don't have to wait till the podcast drops. You can just follow, see them there, and it's not every day or whatever, but when I see something and it might make sense or I give you a great deal or whatever, I'm posting it.
Or if they're so hot that you tell your friend on the air that you'll come to his house to help him move, and the items are so hot, sorry, man, I got to go buy atomic fireballs and...
Hotter than the state of Nevada.
Nevada.
From Nevada.
I'm going to kick you in your face. It's Nevada.
Well, this is how hot it was. You pronounce it Nevada.
Yeah. So one thing we did look at that I will have to admit I'm going to probably cause Waddy some grief.
Uh-oh.
I ate a whole stinking bag of jalapeno share size M&Ms myself.
So, okay. So the M&Ms. Yeah.
So back, you think about a lot of different ones. Like they're still doing the contest, but you could buy the share size bags. And I thought about it. I'd love to buy those, but how am I going to not eat them the whole time we're gone? And how am I going to put them in my bag and not have them melt?
I got a prediction. So after Lagoon, my wife said, because we don't stay there all day, right?
No, you can't.
I go on one roller coaster, I'm pretty much done. If it goes spinning round ways like UFO spinning, I'm done. If it goes frontwards ways, I can last a little bit.
Yeah, not a fan of those.
Most of my rides were just that little sky cart from one side of the park to the other.
Okay.
Did that like 4 or 5 times. But afterwards, we're leaving, we had the lunch, and lines are starting to get a little bigger and stuff. And we're, an hour and a half, 2 hours from home. We said, let's go hit some stores. Let's go find some stuff. Let's make this a business trip, too, while we're out. Because we can go to all these grocery stores on the way home that we'll never come back to again, try to source and do our thing. So one of the stores, they had the share size M&Ms for, you're looking at the picture right now.
On Twitter.
They had them for about $2 a bag.
Wow.
And I cleared out, not all of them, but I got, probably $20 of each kind.
Yeah.
So we're checking out, and in my mind, I've decided who the winner is, but we're checking out, and the lady at the register goes, oh, do you like these? I said, oh, yeah, you got to load up. They're going away. The contest is ending, and, you got to load up. And she goes, my favorite is that British toffee flavor.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I thought no one liked that flavor, but then I thought, well, you'll be buying them from me here in about a month because they're gone.
That's
and
right.
You're going to still want them. So as I'm going to list them, in popularity of what's being sold and listed, this is how I'm going off of who's going to win. The jalapeno are far and away the out front seller winner right now.
Okay.
Followed by coconut and then the British toffee. So my guess for the results is the jalapeno is going to be the winner.
So do you want to
Just
know?
off that.
You want to know what I did?
What did you did?
And this is kind of awful. So we bought the toffee and the jalapeno at the same time, and I wanted to get my kids to try the jalapeno ones. So they're like the toffee colors, but the jalapeno ones are like red and yellow and green. So I mixed in a yellow one and watched my kids have to eat it and trying to die. I mean, they're pretty spicy.
These are awful. We had a family party. I guess it was Mother's Day down at my grandparents' house, aunts and uncles and stuff, and we had one of those jalapeno M&Ms, and yeah, people were like, "Those are hot. Those are awful." My grandpa tried a couple. Why would you do this? Basically, like, what's wrong with the world?
Good time.
Candy's supposed to be good.
They had a whole bunch of like red, white, and blue edition caramel. Like they had things that I'd never seen before, and I was scanning them, and they're selling for $20 a bag. I should have bought them, but again, it was a calculated decision. I didn't want to tempt myself to eat them the entire time, but also get them in the bag and worry about that. But funny thing, while we were there, we actually sold a bag of M&Ms to somebody who lived in New York.
There you go. Like, want me to just drive these over to you? I can just pick them up at the store.
We should have done that.
That's how it happens. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I actually, same thing. So I'm like, it's kind of a hotter summer day. We were going to stop at the MPS. I've been on this McCormick Spice stuff. I'm all over the place. I'm getting some of these
Sweet
bolos.
onion and herb.
I've been hitting Starbucks for a bunch of things. I've just been kind of all over because now my eyes are opened up to a whole new world of what's going on some other things too, right?
Hold on a second. Let's get on this. This little McCormick Dash thing, sweet onion and herb.
If you follow me at DRoyEverett on Twitter and Instagram, you'd have known this about a week ago.
$21.15 sold.
Now, what did I pay for it?
39 cents, 38 cents.
38 cents.
That's a
So there's certain ones that just discontinued or whatever, and it's weird because I found it and I thought it was going to be a couple bucks, but it was on sale. It's one of those weird MPS deals where it's like, basically take it home for free. And so I'm scouring all over because I'm like, there's got to be more than this one here. There's got to be more than this one here. Digging. So finally I go up to their customer service desk, which call it customer service. It's kind of dissatisfaction to anybody. Customer no service, but I love the place, but their customer service not the greatest. And the lady's like, I don't know, is there any more on the shelves? I'm like, I can't see any. You got any sort of a system here where you can show me what you have? I'm like, if you got a case of these, I will buy everything that you have. And then she kind of scanned, kind of looked around. If that's all that we got, that's all that we got. So I don't know if they got more or not, but that's the only one I could find. But yeah, 38 cents to $20. I mean, ain't not bad.
Yeah, that's real good.
Also, those the Starbucks color changing cups that.
Yeah, we talked about those.
The night that I was abandoning you for hard labor.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Right on the next train. Those are blowing up too to like $60, $80. Like,
wow.
I mean, it's crazy what's going on right now with that kind of stuff. So
should we have the news breaker?
That's so I don't have to edit it in later. A breaking news report on Death Piles and Taxes on the news desk. Adam Beasley with the news.
Starbucks will be opening its first standalone campus on Brigham Young University.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. We're in the... we don't get into much of our religious background.
We try to keep people happy.
Ecclesiastical affiliations. But there's going to be a first standalone Starbucks in our area.
And why that's a big thing... Well, no, in Provo, across from BYU, I hit
true.
Starbucks all the time around the area.
Yeah.
Why that's a big deal is because the Mormon church doesn't generally... People don't drink coffee or teas.
Allegedly.
And... well, apparently. But, so sort of Starbucks is just going to open one across the street so that those people that don't drink coffees and teas, allegedly,
on campus,
can walk across the street and get a lot of hot chocolates and muffins.
Yeah, so...
But that's nice for me. Because of that, I'm able to go into these stores where some people won't be caught dead, and I can scour the shelves for, these
there you go.
tumblers and cups. And I sold a 3-pack of straws from Starbucks I picked up yesterday. Sold them today, $10. So I went and bought 4 more.
That's insane.
So follow me for the bolos. I'll share some on the podcast, but when I'm out and about, that's kind of what I'm doing now.
So I have some people on these groups, not Carny groups, but Facebook,
Not your how'd you beat the ring toss group.
No.
How's the ball in the bucket really stay?
No.
That's what kind of group I thought you were into.
No, the groups, the different groups, but people are always like, man, why are you telling everybody about your bolos?
Yeah.
The market is so vastly huge that if somebody's willing to spend $21 on McCormick spices, guess what? They'd spend $21. They'd spend $20 because there just aren't that many out there.
Well, that's the thing. You can't just drive the country and buy these all for yourself. So these are discontinued. If it doesn't get sold on the clearance bin, it's just going to end up in the trash, right?
Yeah.
So I'd rather somebody listening to us in, Nebraska or wherever. I've already went in this area. By the time you're hearing the bolos from me or seeing them from me, I've already went in my area and cleared house probably. So I'd rather somebody in Nebraska go and clear house and make some money instead of this stuff ended up in the trash,
We're here. We're open books, and like I said, that's kind of the what we're trying to do that's different than anyone else is we want you to take the information in a fun way and at least open your eyes to some opportunities.
Well, and some of our stuff's a long game, right? Some people don't have the housing or the storage to do the long. Like I can sit and store my M&Ms for 6 months if that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Some people need a quick flip. So this bolo might be better for you than selling the T-shirt from the thrift store or whatever. So I'm just trying to help people out. That's why we're doing the podcast. If you don't like that and don't need our help, you don't gotta listen.
Get rich slow scheme.
I'm gonna get rich slow scheme. Some people though, they don't have they don't have a house with rooms, or they just don't want to store up stuff, so they're looking for some faster flippers.
Find the smalls.
So yeah, there's a million ways to do it. So we're just sharing some of the ways that work for us. If there's ways that work for you, what I like is I'm sharing bolos. People are sharing stuff back with me. It's reciprocal. It's not like I'm just sitting here saying, "Take all my money, take all this money, take this food out of my mouth." I say, "Hey, this is what's selling for me. Go get it." And then sometimes they're sending back, "Hey, this is what's selling for me. Do you have that in your area?"
So I told you that I was going to, something happened to me for the first time and I had to wait.
Whoa. I know we've been pushing the envelope a little bit, but this is a family-friendly show. So something that happened to you for the first time and you had to wait, is this something I want to hear?
Well, it happens to you. Like, it's very frequent to you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I got kicked out of a website, kicked out of a Facebook group.
Oh, you got kicked out of a group?
Well, I don't know if I got kicked out.
Was it a yard sale type site?
A strong rebuke.
What happened? Now you got to break this down.
I mean, I know you're pretty, it's a regular appearance
I'm
to you.
a little Teflon to it.
Teflon.
Don't stick.
Yeah, I got a post. So there was a guy, Richard Ironton.
No, I don't know if you should be sharing names.
Hey, it's on the Facebook group.
Well, it was till you got kicked out.
No, he was just on the group talking about how well he's done. He's gone and made some money. So, we try and get it interactive and talk about, hey, because he's making some serious cash. Like, he posted the number. I mean, it's several, there's what, 5 digits in it, 6 digits. I mean, we're talking tens to 20 of thousands of dollars in a couple months.
Good job, Richard.
I know. And I says, well, hey, you really probably want to look into becoming an S corporation to save your money in some taxes. So we get in and start giving some real advice. And he says, oh, wow, great, that's really cool. And I says, hey, yeah, that's kind of what we do. We talk about this on our podcast. Oh man, that was the wrong thing.
Really?
Yeah. My admin removed your comment because I talked about, hey, that's amazing, man. You keep that up, you'll need to look into becoming an S corporation. Hey, check out our podcast. That's one of the many issues we talk about.
No, I guess you'll have to go. Some of those, I can't talk. Groups have some strange rules, so maybe it's promoting something, or they think you're selling something.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's what it was. It was promoting something. I mean, but what are we promoting? So,
we're promoting Adam Up Accounting. Come get your taxes done by
exactly,
Adam
you have to
Beasley
get it
and
done
Adam Up
anyways.
Accounting. Get you that S corp that you deserve, and Carny Games.
and
ruined by Trevor
save
Hooper.
some money.
If you want Trevor Hooper to make your kid, we should start selling him to make people cry.
That's true. He could do that. So there was a kid on one of these other groups. He called this item a temporary potato transferer.
Potato gun.
No, a
gun.
temporary potato transfer. If you're looking to take your potatoes anywhere from 500 to 600 feet away for a short time period, look at this item.
This includes starting fluid, and you have to turn it in the pipe, and it spits it fastly.
No, it didn't get
Didn't
into
do any of
that
that,
much detail. But it's funny because you got to think of some unique terms, because if you throw in the word gun, you will be thrown into the Democratic, or no,
Wow.
yeah, you'll be thrown into that blue group, and
Wow. The Blue Man Group.
yes, you will no longer be able to sell online. You'll be
Well, there's
thrust
places you can sell guns online. Just eBay's not one of them.
or Facebook,
Or Facebook. So those are that's the
or
rules.
Amazon.
If you want to start your own gun selling website, you can do it.
So
It's
you-
liable. I mean, little bit of liabilities.
You can sell a lot of things, but you can't sell a potato temporary launcher
But here's
on
the
any
thing.
of the major platforms.
Here's the thing: if you're looking to buy a spud gun, like you're not going to type in potato temporary. Like how's anyone going to find your listing?
I don't know. It was just a unique way to get up there. And here's the thing:
I
I saw
bet you
it.
did. Was this you?
No, it wasn't me. I've never legally made a potato spud buster.
Okay. Well, how would you even ship those things? Are pretty good size.
It had a long.
It's about 6 foot tall at least.
It was a big boy.
I've used one of those a time or two.
I'm sure that you have.
Once again.
So I guess getting into that, it was kind of unique. But what happened is they got into this reseller group that kind of threw it way out there, because now everybody in this reseller group is laughing about this kid's creativity. So,
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Before I forget, another kid got in trouble online.
Man, you're just the tattletale police today.
Oh no, it's not me. I'm just reading about it. It's funny because now that we see everything, you know, I don't really watch the. Have you ever watched the news, like the news, the 2, 3, or 5 news?
Usually when I get home from work, I'll turn it on while I'm doing stuff. It'll be in the background.
We don't have those channels. Like we don't have regular TV.
I don't either.
Doom and gloom.
Yeah, there's a lot of that out there.
Like you would think the world is ending tomorrow if you listen to anything on
You
ABC.
talk to most people. Man, you're naming names. First, you're going after the Democrats, then ABC, then poor Richard. We're going to get sued. This is going to be the last Death Piles and Taxes show because Adam Beasley's going to be in litigation.
They're going to cut our revenue in
They're
half.
going to cut off our internets. Come and take our guns and take away our internets.
What are we, China now?
You're the doom and gloomer.
I'm not being doom and I'm just
I'm
saying.
Mr. Sunshine over here.
In generalities, things are great, but that's all you want to hear about online.
Okay.
So anyway,
So you're watching the news.
no, I wasn't watching the news. I don't watch the news. It's just
Well, you were telling me some story about doom and gloom on the news.
you hear everything. This is a cool story. Okay, but the
Okay.
kid unfortunately got into trouble. Now it's that time of year. School's getting out. You have senior pranks. You know, people will try and do things that are unique. And kid threw his high school on the Craigslist to buy 12,000 square foot building, several rooms,
Yeah.
nice recreational facility, blah blah blah.
Gym, basketball court.
Yeah, $10,000. Apparently, people didn't like that because one of the things that he said in there is he said that quickly the population of the school will be decreasing, and he meant it because they're graduating from high school.
Oh, okay.
But everybody thought he was going to come in and
Some threat. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, but the funny part is his mom. You know, she made a comment saying, "Hey, I get it. Like, you guys aren't going to let him walk, and who cares? But he's still going to get his diploma." So
Yeah, I mean, some things get blown out of proportion, but then you see what's going on, and it kind of has to be to some extent, not justifying it, but you getting kicked out of a Facebook group makes me happy, going back to all this. And
I hope it wasn't kicked out, or if I was just strongly rebuked.
here's what I'll say. If you're listening to this podcast, since we can't tell people in Facebook groups to listen to it without getting kicked out,
Yeah.
although I'll usually drop it if it's in topic, and I know you have too, why don't you go ahead and not only tell a friend or family member or somebody at your eBay meetup group to listen to the podcast, but take their phone from them and physically put it on there and subscribe.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
It's a great...
While you're at it, give us a 5-star review from said person and put your name and that you did it. And I will give you a shout out if any of this ever happens. If you say, I stole my friend's phone and I'm reviewing your show, I will give you a shout out on the air next episode.
Nice. Well, guess what?
I don't even dare ask.
Well, we burned through 35 minutes.
Well, I better calm you down before we get kicked off the internet. Let's take a little break.
You better get back to my P's and Q's and
Yes.
what I can and cannot. Hey, you know what I did know? Like, there's some things you like to throw into these episodes that I don't catch till 2 or 3 times down the road.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You may have made a reference to a fruit of a certain color and a number of our proud president right now.
Oh, Orange 45.
Yeah!
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with that?
It just was a reference that I bring up blue, Demis, and you get all sore about it.
I just said I don't even know what I said. Something about Orange 45, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
He's not my favorite, but those crowds over in England that you don't see on the news, they're busting down the
Queen
barriers
Mum,
to see
the
it.
Queen Mum sure liked that. That was a good thing. Shout out to, we went to a...
I thought you were going to shout out to the Queen. Good Lord.
I did.
Freddie Mercury and Queen coming up next.
I did have
Lower at the Queen Mum. Nasty woman.
A friend that I spent some time with on that ecclesiastical vacation.
Sure.
He was from Australia, and he tried.
That's our listener there.
I know, and he tried when he was learning Spanish. But one of the things that a phrase that I learned, which I don't know if it's going to be show worthy or show approved.
I'm not going to go through to find out.
So I
We're
don't
just
know.
going to put it up.
I don't know if these are a bad term in England.
Cover up your
But he
ears.
said, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're looking at me like I just slapped the Queen Mum."
Oh.
I'm like, "What do you mean slap the Queen Mum?"
The Queen Mum. Your mum.
I didn't know, so please don't slap the Queen Mum.
No, mum's the word.
I guess that's where oh man, there's so many, when you say things like that, there's just the mum,
The mum.
the Queen Mum. So I found in my book of matches,
Book of memories.
book of matches. We went to an estate sale. We bought some book of matches for I don't know.
I get accused of derailing this. We're going to go to break. All of a sudden, we're talking about the Queen. Now you're to a matchbook that you found in an estate sale.
Because they were from Charles and Diane's first wedding.
Did you buy them?
I did, absolutely. I bought them.
Oh, well, that's
See?
that's valuable.
That's what I'm saying.
Was this back in your trip?
No, that was back. That was here.
Really?
I forgot about it till I get into my side of my truck and I pull out a Ziploc bag. I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't be carrying around these matches.
I thought maybe you were taking up smoking again. I don't
Well,
know.
that's one of the things is, we try and collect license plates at different places. That's the way it used to be. You collect matchbooks from all the different
people
hotels.
used to collect matchbooks, and that was a big thing for all those old Vegas hotels that get blown up every 4 or 5 years, and they put something else there.
Yeah.
The old
Rat
matchbooks
Pack.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sammy Davis.
they can fetch you a fine dollar on the electronic bay.
Yeah.
Queen's ransom, if you will.
So maybe what we should do is pub the eBay thrifting group, eBay support group. That's why if we're putting it on their website, we're really encouraging their
I
own
was just
stuff.
going to say that at some point maybe we start our own group, and then you can control what people say and do on there, but I don't want to be in charge of it.
You can barely be in charge of your own self.
I'm busy.
You're busy.
I got things going.
The eBay sourcing resellers group.
If that's something you want to do, go report Adam Beasley for
Whoa,
whatever he's saying
whoa,
and get him
whoa.
kicked off there. So we can go back to communicating about my bolos.
Well,
Tell people to listen to this podcast.
let's regroup. Let's don't slap the Queen Mum.
Why don't... Okay, yeah.
Let's just regroup.
Okay, time out.
Time out. Thanks for listening to Death Pile and Taxes. This is Adam, your tax man. If you're listening to this podcast, hopefully that means you're selling on eBay. There's lots of things that you should know, and that's what we're here to help you. At Atom Up Accounting, we'll give you all the insights of what you should be keeping track of, the things you can write off, and how you can help improve your tax business so that you can pay as little as possible, but enjoy spending those profits on things that make you happy. Check us out on our website, Atom Up Accounting. Bottom right-hand corner, you can chat with us right there. Thanks.
All right, are we back?
We are
Did
back.
we calm down?
I think so.
Well, let's get a little professional. Let's give the people what they want.
They want to know what should they be buying and what should they be selling.
Well, what do you got for me? I'd like to know what I should be buying and what I should be selling.
Well, going back to your Guns N' Roses we talked about the other day. Well, by other day I mean about 25 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And if you're not a part of, you should be a part of this wonderful eBay thrifting sourcing reseller group. About 23,000 people on there. Really good bolos. This gal posted she bought a mint condition Guns N' Roses Not in This Lifetime tour jacket.
Just the recent tour.
That's right. $3 she paid for it.
Where did she get that for $3?
I don't know, but their retail price was $1,995.
Well, that's a pretty good profit. That makes my McCormick Spice even look small.
But here's the thing, and I saw somebody on it too. Somebody bought a fake Tommy Bahama shirt. Like, there's fakes out there.
There are fakes of about everything.
And it's funny, you don't realize that. And, you know, you get people on here, I mean, they're posting jerseys and different things. And you're like, you really have to look at it to know whether it's good or not.
Yeah, you got to do your research to know authentic because you're at a thrift store. They're not going to do that for you, or yard sales.
And if you have questions, there's a lot of groups that you just throw it on there just saying, hey, I'm kind of new to this. I've done my research. Is there anybody else who can help me with the signature, or does this look authentic to you? And be willing and able to take the criticism. Hey, you idiot! You know.
But of course, that Michael Jordan was never 24. Whatever number, you know.
But it'll give you real answers, like real quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to those guys. So appreciate that, Bolo. I mean, look,
Always
anything like you said, anything musically inclined, any type of tour, really any of them are going to be good buys.
I mean, yeah, for the right price. Obviously, if you're going to buy a Guns N' Roses jacket and you want to sell it and it's $1,000, you better look at some comps and researches. And if you can sell it for $3,000, maybe that's something you're comfortable with. And maybe not. But if it's $3, sure, that's not something to take. I mean, take the risk.
And I meant buying these at a thrift store.
A thrift store.
Thrift store.
I don't know who goes to that concert, buys a brand new jacket, and then puts it to the thrift store, but it happens all the time.
One of your carnies has got all his money in his pocket, cash.
I'm retiring.
So I did see something funny in New York.
I'm sure you saw lots of things funny in New York.
This guy was like helping people get through the turnstile to get into the subway, and like these foreigners, they're trying to slide their debit card and stuff through it, and he's like, "No, you got to go around and do this."
Was this guy's job, or was he just doing?
No,
this?
he was just a guy.
So
I think he was just a guy, and he's like, "Oh, how much?" He's like, "Oh, why don't you just give me $5 cash?"
off the stall.
Oh, that's. There's a lot of creative ways to make money.
There are a lot of ways, and in New York City, you will find a lot of creative people.
Absolutely.
Did you go to any of the like Chinatown spots or anything to buy merchandise or purses or?
We stayed in Koreatown.
Rolexes.
No, we were down to Battery Park, and you could see the Dolexes that were being sold and the fake Gucci bags and.
Oh man, so. I feel like I'm throwing Denny under the bus on this one, but Denny spent his religious affiliated mission in New York.
Okay.
So New York City. We went back there as a family. My brother married a gal from upstate New York. That's probably about 10 years ago or better. We were back there. Nothing my dad likes almost better than haggling for a fake Rolex that he can wear to church, knowing it's a fake Rolex, just to get the deal. Like, he loves that kind of thing. I don't know. We're cut from the same cloth because I do too. Get my wife a purse. We all know it's fake, but $20 if I can get them down to 10 or 15 or whatever, you just feel like you win.
It sounds like we need to take Danny on a roadie with us.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Go just hit a random thrift store.
But he claims, so he was back there, so New York's cleaned up quite a bit.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
become family friendly.
Well, there's a lot of honking going on while we were there.
Oh, honking, but it used to be like Times Square and stuff was a adults only section that you'd go, and it was not kid friendly.
Oh, there was definitely a lot of kids there, so it was friendly.
I mean, a lot of crime, a lot of that kind of stuff going on.
A lot of things that happen in Nevada but aren't legal.
A lot of so anyways, in the 70s, it was a little crazier than it is now. They've cleaned it up and stuff. But he claims that there would be people that come up and say, "What do you want?" And if you put in your order, that they'd go still to deliver. So you'd put in your order, they'd go steal this item for you, and you'd have a price point, and they'd offer to deliver it to you.
So it's kind of like pre-Amazon
Pre-Amazon, except for they'd go and steal the item for you.
Man.
So, different ballgame.
You know what's really big out there? That Grubhub, that deliver food and
delivering
stuff.
Yeah.
Man, there was people all over. Uber's taking off over there. Man, you want to really hit it up on your own. You drive for Uber, but then you also hit up thrift stores. Like you're double bagging it there.
Yeah, I mean it's that whole gig economy, and I'm sure the taxis back there probably aren't liking it. But you think of a taxi, I mean a license for a taxi.
I'm glad you brought that up. I talked to my friend Ginjola. I can't pronounce his name.
No, my friend, I don't know him.
He was a good kid to talk to. He was from some place down in South America that didn't speak Spanish. I was like, wow, they didn't know that existed.
Portuguese?
No, the English speaking place.
Huh.
Like my geography's
maybe I need to
bad.
go. I could live there.
Yeah, it was one of those places down there. I guess they all came from India, like through the British slaves and stuff.
Who knew that we'd begin the history?
It was Ghana. It wasn't Ghana. It was some. Anyways,
your buddy Gene.
Yes, and because I asked him, he went into total details, and we've talked about this before. Barrier to entry. Okay, barrier to entry with what we do right now online is literally zero. Like you have a cell phone, you already have it.
You already have it. You have an internet connection.
You already have it. So
you got crap around your house you don't need,
and you don't have to pay a fee until you sell stuff. It's not like you got to pay. You got to buy $1,000 worth of merchandise before you can ever start selling.
A subscription fee, no.
We need you to buy this amount of stuff and continually buy it once a month.
Buy our course and attend our seminar or whatever.
So we got talking specifically about the Uber driving and versus taxis and stuff. He was saying about 10, 15 years ago, they only had a certain number of medallions. Okay, and these medallions was kind of what allowed you to drive, and it was about 30,000 medallions in the area. At the time, those medallions were anywhere from $800 to $1.2 million just to buy a medallion to have the privilege to drive a taxi. He said now, because of what these Uber and Lyft type companies have done, now they're worth about $200,000.
Yeah, so I mean, it brings it down. It's competition, right?
Yeah, and there's about 70,000 Uber, Lyft drivers in the area, where before we only had 30 to 40,000. So it really, it's funny you said barrier to entry for what we're doing is literally zero. You can get in and try and sell on eBay, and it's not going to cost you anything. It might cost you the $5, $10. It'll cost you nothing if you go find all the free stuff you've already paid.
I mean, there's always going to be, and this is why I call it your learning taxes and stuff. You'll buy something thinking it's going to sell your Disney VHSs or Beanie Babies or whatever, and you're going to buy $50 thinking, oh, I've hit the jackpot, and you're going to be stuck, and those aren't going to sell.
No.
So, I mean, you'll learn. There's going to be things that you'll experiment with, and some will go well and some won't. But that's the learning curve. But, yeah, it's not you have to do that or you can't list.
You're not buying a 2,000 square foot lease that's going to cost you $3,000 a month and have to pay for 12 months guarantee.
I mean, yeah, you get that medallion so that you can drive. You still need to buy a fleet of cabs. Yeah. Still have to have a dispatch service. Yeah. You still got to buy the fuel. You got to do all the maintenance work on it. You got to pay an employee. Where
you want to get on these groups and everybody's complaining about how bad it is and quit selling. Guess what? You're not out anything.
Well, and then they can move on. I mean, it's like we've talked about. It's the summer slowdown, is what they call it.
And nobody gets that.
And I mean, you go talk to people that have worked retail markets and stuff like that. It happens everywhere. It's not just online. I mean, you go to people that work at Walmart, or people that work at a feed store, or people that work at the pet store, or whatever. It's kind of that way. Summer comes, people are off on vacations, just like you just were. Kids are out of school. Different things are taking off. They're not buying the back-to-school clothes. They're not online because they can go outside and go hiking and stuff. So your sales might dip a little bit, but that's where I'm saying get ready. It's the calm before the storm. Get the closet full so that when it is back to school, when it is Halloween, when it is Christmas, that your items are already there and you're not with the people trying to hurry up and list it.
You can't sell out of an empty cart.
Like Granny said, you can't sell goods out of an empty wagon, boy.
That's right. Let's start stocking up.
So that's my advice. And some people, they don't like, well, Christmas stuff, why would you list it now? It's going to be Christmas season, here before we know it. I'm usually about 3 months out on trying to do stuff. So, I mean, really, September, October, if you're not in the Christmas mood, you've missed it. So, June, July, August, if you're not getting ready for Halloween stuff, you might be missing it. So, I mean, summer slowdown maybe, but keep going, you know what I'm saying? Need to give a shout out to friend of the show, Jimmy McKnight.
Oh boy, I love when James Benson gets on and tells us some good stuff.
No, I was giving you little Carny stories about Jimmy, and I don't know that he's on the Instagram or the Twitter machine. I couldn't find it to thank him. I tried to tag him. He gave me a heads up on. So last Christmas, if you remember, there was the Monopoly Millennials Edition.
I remember.
I was driving halfway across the state and buying anyone I could get my hands on, and they were selling out faster than you could find them. So I sold hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars worth of that game, right?
Okay.
He sends me a little heads up. I don't even think he's selling. Like he's listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
He sends me this clearance Walmart online thing, right?
Okay.
And they're selling them for I think it was like $5. Just clearance, just getting rid of them. And he just sends me it. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. And it was one of the bolos I shared on the Instagram and Twitter. So if you're following at DRoy Everett, you'd already know this. So I'm like, I'm just going to go all in. So I talked to Holly because I'm like, I'm going to spend a lot of money on some board games here. So how it works is, I think this was an eBay-only item, too.
Okay.
Or not eBay, but Walmart-only item.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the only place I ever found or heard about them. So if they're clearancing them, they're going, yeah, Christmas is coming up again this year.
Yeah.
They're still millennials. I was selling them for about $40 a hit last year like crazy. So I'm thinking they're going to go again.
Yeah.
If I can get them for, I think it was $7 to $5, something like that. They'll ship them to my nearest Walmart for free because it only let me put one in a cart at a time.
Yeah.
So I just made several transactions.
Yeah.
And they ship there for free, so I don't have to pay shipping to my house. And then they just tell you when they arrive, and you drive over there, and they'll load them up into your car. So if you see a picture of me online there, I had a cart full of boxes, just full of those Millennial Edition Monopoly games getting ready for Christmas. Shout out to Jimmy McKnight for giving me the heads up, and now that's a bolo for you guys. I don't know if they're still available or not.
I've seen them because we've looked. My son is, but they're selling them at the store for like $20, $25.
Yeah.
And I tried explaining that to him and saying, well, there's not enough margin in it. So, man, good job on
Or,
you.
I mean, say Christmas they take off again. I keep an eye on that. Even at $20, if they're going for $40 or $50 again at Christmas and they're discontinued, that might not be a bad thing because they're not going to keep producing them. Move on to the next thing. Another bolo that people are talking about, once again, is Stranger Things. We were talking about the Coke last time. Apparently they're going to have a Monopoly edition come out for Stranger Things Season 3. So, talking the town, it's way too early speculation to know, but people are saying that's going to be a hot one. So
People are saying.
People are saying, and I'm hearing. My sources are telling me that Stranger Things Monopoly game.
Are you saying people are you're hearing things, or are you reporting?
Both.
So you're reporting.
I'm reporting what I've
that
been
Stranger
hearing.
Things 3
Well, Season
and
3 is coming
Monopoly are going to have a joint venture here.
Kind of like the new Coke.
Yes. So it's not I'm hearing, it's I'm reporting.
Well, I'm reporting that's going to happen. They are doing a Stranger Things Monopoly game that's
So
coming
it's
out.
happening. It's
happening.
not hearsay.
But the hearsay is that it's going to be a hot seller.
Well,
I don't know if it is or not.
I mean, you're pulling them out. I mean, it's one of those rare, limited things.
But people like collecting. There's people that just collect Monopoly games, you know.
My son's one of them.
Shout out to your son, who was a guest on the show.
We have several. In fact, today we were looking at games at Walmart.
Well, get on Walmart.com and maybe clear inside in one of them Monopoly games for Christmas.
We looked at our local thrift stores, and he says, Dad, what we're buying is so much better because it's less expensive, and they're not available. We found this game called Freeway Frenzy. And it's been a good one. We've played it several. I quite enjoy it. You build, like, you have to put up roadblocks on freeways and stuff, and you have to go to your destinations, and pretty good time had by all.
Now, what's it selling for?
There isn't even one out there. Well, I think we're gonna.
I think we price that high.
Well, I think
I know the kids like and playing it, but if it's all there complete and it's not even for sale,
oh yeah,
that's when you put $300 and see what happens.
We're just getting back from this vacation trip, so we're in the organizational mode.
Trying to get back to the real world.
We're in the organizational mode because we moved in and we didn't really get anything, so we want to get all of our games in one area, and I'm going to bring that up with them, saying let's throw it online, let's see what we can find.
Say, yeah, if somebody's willing to pay us a couple $100, are you willing to part with this? And then you just put up, and if it goes, it goes, and if not,
I mean, it's back from 2000.
There's some games, and I mean, we don't got a million hours to get into all this. We'll have stuff, but go do your own research too. But there's certain games that people will just pay outrageous sums for. Outrageous sums.
Wait, and it's funny because now a lot of these people are realizing that the human conversation is way better when you're looking at somebody instead of your phone.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, we wait once a week so you can talk to me.
I know. I try to talk to you in person and it just gets awkward. I'd rather be on my phone texting you.
You are a freaking snowflake.
Hurt my feelings.
A blue snowflake.
Hurt my feelings.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
Put your tongue out and let me meld on it, baby.
Yeah, never had that happen before.
Well, there you go. Well, that's what you do with snowflakes. Put your tongue out and let it melt on them. Am I right? You ever done that before?
I lived in Nevada. We didn't have snow.
When you came here and it snowed for the first time that you'd seen in a long time, did you go outside and open your mouth and stick your tongue out?
I don't remember.
Are you lying? To our good people in the podcast?
I'm not lying.
You don't know if you ever went outside in a snowstorm and stuck your tongue out to get snow on your mouth?
Not the first time I was here.
Okay, well, you've done it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You've derailed me.
That's right.
Derail the deroyer, the derail.
I derailed you with trying to make you money on board games and having human conversation.
That's right. They have like this whole groups now. So one of the things that we did while we were there is you can go to Bryant Park. Shout out, it was a good time had by all, right by the public library.
Were you telling people to listen to our podcast?
I was, and I told them they had like a game area, so you could just sit down and play games. So I told my son, like, hey, go over and play chess with that guy. So he went and played chess with a guy just hanging out at the park.
Did he beat him?
No, he did not.
No.
He's 8, and this guy was probably 25.
Okay. Did you give him a good competition?
Oh yeah, it was a good game. Sat back, and I mean, it was the funniest thing is
Tell your son to go up to random men in parks.
Well, I was there. I mean, there's lots of people there playing.
You're into it.
There was like people playing. What do you call it? Connect Four and all kinds of different games.
Tic-tac-toe boards?
They did tic-tac-toe,
oh, yeah.
backgammon. So there's this guy like
craps.
Obviously,
craps? They have a craps
no,
board?
obviously homeless. Guy's obviously homeless. And there's this guy in a business suit who's on his flipping phone the whole time, but they're sitting there playing backgammon against each other. You can see all these guys, like, they come down. I think that's their thing for lunch, is they come down and play against the homeless guys.
Hey, why not, man?
Hustle.
They should give the homeless guys some money for letting them. They should give them a 10 spot.
Well, I think they were alleged. I think that guy was hustling, man.
The homeless guy?
Yeah, I think.
You think they were playing for cash money?
Oh, I guarantee it.
Do you think money was exchanging hands?
I guarantee it.
How much did you have to pay for this chess loss that your son encountered?
There was nothing on that. We were at the beginner table.
Okay.
But I think some of those people there, they've got the system figured out.
You think some of these Wall Street men have a problem with controlling their money?
That and their substances.
Wow. Breaking news. I thought I was reporting on Stranger Things 3, but apparently there's some people that have substance problems and gambling problems in New York City. I didn't thunk it.
I don't know.
This is all new to me. That's a lot to take in.
And don't buy your swag at the airport.
Never do that.
I mean, you get the I Love New York sweatshirts for $30, and you get them a whole lot cheaper somewhere else.
Unless you're only on a layover and you want to prove that you were there.
Oh, okay.
I got a Chicago dog once at the airport in Chicago because I was on a layover.
We shout out to Nathan's Hot Dogs. Looking forward to the mustard belt coming up on July 4th.
Did you go to the street? Did you have your street dog?
Of course, I had a street dog.
Did your kids?
They did.
Good for you.
Several Nathan's Hot Dogs.
Oh,
Man, and pizza. Pizza's by the
Nathan's
slice.
better be. I'm gonna send him a check for how many name drops.
I just mentioned the mustard belt.
Yeah.
Your buddy, the Kobayashi.
How much are they paying us to sponsor this fine podcast?
Well, I told them I'd throw it on the podcast and they give me a discount on the dogs.
Well, that's what they told you. Nathan's a dirty liar.
Maybe it was the guy running the show.
Okay. Shout out to the guy running the shack.
Yeah, the Shackers.
What were you telling me right there?
I was telling you that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you wind her back, and there we are. Okay.
Buying memorabilia, buying things on your trips, you can find it. I know it's going to sound like you want to prove that you were there. That's what a lot of people do. Like, it's their thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked at prices. I'm like, I can buy this online cheaper than I can at any of these stores.
So people think I'm a dirty scumbag, and I might be.
That is your name from my phone.
But I'll take my wife to concerts, right? We go to some pretty good concerts, and we'll travel around. We went and saw Tom Petty in Seattle before he died. We went and saw Gwen Stefani last year down in Vegas. We'll go to some shows around here and stuff. But yeah, that's my thing with her too. I said, you can get you the $40 t-shirt, and we'll spend $40 or $50. I don't want to do that. Or I'll go home and buy it for you on the internet. I go home and I'll buy them for her on the internet. I'm like, no one's going to know the difference. It's not going to be any day. It'll take a couple weeks to get here. Same shirt.
This is coming from the guy who always, the day after Memorial Day, says, this is your yearly reminder to go out and get your wife some new
I
flowers.
got some bad news. I don't know if I can share this, but I'm going to.
That's the guy you're talking to.
I'm not going to name names because I can't. I don't know if I should share this, but I'm going to.
Share it.
Never eat anything that's been left on a grave for a week.
And
I shouldn't have to say this.
wow.
I may or may not know somebody who ate a gumball out of a jar that was left on a grave over Memorial Weekend and chewed on the gumball and had a tooth that broke and now had to go get an emergency root canal. And I have a hard and fast rule that I just don't eat anything that's been left on a gravestone, let alone after a week.
Well, that's kind of a given.
Just throwing it out there for the listening audience.
That's like bad karma.
Probably shouldn't have even said that. I'm probably
You're probably going to get in trouble for that
going to have
one.
some repercussions on that one.
You don't edit that out.
I'm not saying names.
Is it somebody that
Not saying
is
names.
it somebody I've met?
Not saying names. I'll tell you off the air.
Is this a family relation?
Not saying.
So if I guess what you tell me,
I shouldn't have even said that much. All I'm saying is the Tuesday after Memorial Day is Free Flower Day at your local cemetery. I say that every year.
you do and you post it and
It's my funny joke.
is it a joke though?
Yeah. You shouldn't go take grave. You should never go to somebody's grave and take something off of it. That's just bad. Unless you left it, don't steal from graves. I shouldn't have to say that. It's a joke, and I always say it. And there's always somebody, usually my aunt or somebody, that's like, "You're a horrible person." And I just say, "You say you're a horrible person until your husband comes home with some new flowers on Tuesday. Then all of a sudden, I'm not such a bad guy, am I?"
I did read that exchange.
Every year, I'll say it next year. It's my go-to joke. It's a good one.
It is a good one.
I shouldn't have to say don't steal anything from people's graves. It's not cool.
You know, one thing that we did this year is pretty satisfying. We went and helped clean up the gravesites.
Oh yeah,
That was a good time.
that's good service.
You know, took my son and said, "Hey, let's go out and do this," and you learned a lot.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from reading people's headstones.
Yeah,
Seeing where they were, grew up. We went over to all sorts of family. People don't want to hear about this, but I went and saw a bunch of graves and had some reflection. My dad's. So I'm going to get into it anyways. My dad's
2/3.
my dad's grandpa. So my grandpa's dad, my great grandfather,
Yes.
came here from England when he was 16 by himself.
Okay.
So then came over and he was an indentured servant for a family in central Utah.
Is that a nice way to say slave?
It was a nice way to say slave.
I just wanted to catch that. 'Cause
So my dad's
your
grandpa,
fancy term
my dad's
sometimes.
grandpa was a slave for a family in central Utah until he paid off his debt.
Okay.
But it came when he was 16, and his whole family stayed there. He was the only one that came over. So had he not done that, I would not be here at all. Like, if I existed, I'd be over in England or somewhere. And my mom's grandma came from Denmark. Same thing. So I went over to the Scandinavian days over.
The Big Ephraim?
Yeah, I went over there this year with my brother and my wife, and we went through all that. I actually won the parade. Me and my brother Adam were Vikings one year, probably 89 or 90, and we were the grand champions of that parade. And we won a money prize. And I said to Adam, let's go back next year and recreate our float, recreate our costumes, and let's go reclaim our title.
The 30 year later.
And he said, is there any money in it?
No, the shark said, is there any money in it?
He said, is there any money? And I'll do it for some money.
So, funny story. And again, I may get in trouble for that. If I do, okay. It's not my family, it's yours.
Okay.
The story of the shark, I got to know if it's true or not. So, his brother, man of few words.
My brother Adam will say his name, yeah.
Brother Adam. Allegedly, in the month of February, like, the car dealers have to sell a certain number of cars. And he would go to car dealerships like February 28th to try and get them to haggle it down to get a car, and then he would not buy them.
Again, if you remember the story about New York earlier in this podcast about me and my dad liking to haggle for fake Rolexes and purses in Central Park and Battery Park, this shouldn't come as a surprise. But yeah, my brother the shark, for fun, this is before now he's married and got kids and stuff. He probably would still love to do this.
Yes.
But yeah, he knows there was quotas that need to be met. And so he'd go to dealerships, and people hate going to car dealerships to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
He would go and he'd pick it. I mean, I'm sure he was interested in it, and he'd just negotiate and see how low he could get it, and then he sometimes would send me a message, are you interested in this vehicle for this price? Or should I just walk away? Kind of thing. And I mean, he'd buy cars occasionally, but yeah, he liked to go do that. And he can sit in awkward silence like a lot of us if it gets quiet or whatever. He's kind of that way. He can just sit in silence and he's fine.
Yeah.
He can do his thing and it doesn't bother him. So he can just sit there with those guys trying to high pressure and talk to him and just kind of look at him or not give him any satisfaction, just sit there quiet and like lower. And they'd be like, what? Price needs to be lower. And just sit there for like 5 minutes and make him squirm. So yeah, that's why we call him the shark. He would go do that. February was the good month, where about the 28th when they needed to roll off some models to get that sales quota. But yeah, true story.
So if you're willing to haggle, you usually get a deal.
I mean, it depends on what you're buying, I guess. I get people trying to. So they got this new feature on eBay, the send offer we talked about.
We've talked about the offer.
I love that thing. I've been making a lot of sales because it will give me a list of things and how many people are interested, and I'll just send out, take a couple bucks off, and I've been actually having a lot of success with that. But I hate, to some extent, when something's like $4 and somebody's like, what's the lowest you'll go? They'll send me a message, what's the lowest you'll go? Like $4 and shipping. Like, there's not much wiggle room here.
No.
Or I'll say, $4 probably isn't the best example, but like $7 and it's $3 to ship, and well, I'll give it to you for $5 if you pay the shipping. Well, I'm not going to pay the shipping, and you get into these little conversations with people, but depending on what the thing is, everything's negotiable, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt to ask.
Never hurts to ask. What are they going to say? No?
Not today.
Okay.
Sit in that awkward silence and say, needs to be lower.
Lower.
Needs to, no, that's not going to work for me.
Lower.
Well, I guess I'll leave then. I don't know what those salespeople must have thought, because he'd sit there for, a couple hours, negotiate, and just get up and walk out.
Well, we're going to get into a couple tax things right now.
Okay. This is DeathPiles and taxes, so.
Taxes. You need to be keeping track of your receipts. I know we talked about that. The actual physical receipt, take a picture of it. At least take a picture, that way you have a copy of it. And again, on your travel trips, like I just did this morning, I wrote down kind of what I was doing, where I was going, and why I was doing it. That's what you got to have. The more you do this, the more expenses you're going to have. And if you're like most people, the more money you make, the more money you spend. So what the IRS is going to start, if you start getting into that $50, $60, $80,000, $90,000, anytime you go over $100,000, like, you're going to be on there, and you got to be doing some real stuff, but you need to be keeping track so that Because the reality, all you're doing with this and you're funding your sales is you're funding your hobby. Like, that's the reality of what you're doing.
For a lot of people. I mean, there's some people that run businesses.
Yeah, they run some businesses, but like I said, you need to be selling several $1,000s a month to really make it be a business. Otherwise, it's a business that's a hobby.
Well, in the IRS's eyes, right? Like to me, I might be thinking, well, I'm pulling in $20,000 or whatever. That's a business to me. But to the IRS, they might see it more as a hobby.
Like, realistically, you need to be pulling in a lot of money, which we know a lot of people are. But that's the key to anybody, is keeping track of those expenses, so that when you do come see your accountant, you can say, oh, this is what I did, because I gave that up a long time ago. I'm not going to ask for your receipts. I don't go through boxes anymore. I don't do that. It's your responsibility. So just got a letter on that from somebody else and just wanted to make that friendly reminder.
So if you do need your taxes done, you can come to Adam Beasley at Adam Up Accounting, as you just heard in that lovely ad but a few minutes ago. But remember, that's your responsibility.
Keeps track of your receipts.
Keep your own receipts. I'm still stuck on, I can see for that, taking your pictures, and you can save it up to your cloud or email it to some, business. You probably have a business email or your eBay, whatever, keep that. But a lot of it, you just have those credit card receipts too. I mean, you got the statements. Is that going to work when I show you my NPS statement for $7 that turned me into $20 or whatever?
For that's the hard part, because that was what I had for most of the time. But this last audit that I went through, they actually wanted to see a receipt, because they wanted to see if you're paying sales tax and several different things. So it is one of those things that I would encourage you to know on those receipts what they are.
So you know what it is, where it went. You got the hard physical receipt.
Correct.
All right.
Easy
what else
enough.
you got tax-wise? You got some tax stuff for us?
Easy enough. Just, like the guy we talked about in the group. If you're really starting to churn, if you're selling several $1,000s a month, couple things you want to keep, like I said, that looking to become an S corporation, that will save you dollars and cents. Again, that's just one of those. Do you want to know how the sausage is made, or you just want to eat it? I know what you want to do. I know what you do on every 4th of July. Throw down as many Nathan's hot dogs as you can.
There's another name. He must have gave you like $5 to say Nate. Every time Adam says that name, he's getting $5 sent to him in the
They
mail.
were good. That's the thing, is it was like you bite into it and it was like a crunchy dog.
Good or not, if they want to advertise, they can pay for it.
Man, it was good. It was
Hot
good.
dog, New York hot dog.
Yeah.
Generic New York hot dog vendor. That's what I'm going to refer to him as.
No, that's like saying
Until they pay us.
Kleenex.
Like NPS store.
Tissue.
Now I'm going to stop saying that, because they need to start paying me for all the people I'm peddling their way.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm becoming that guy.
Yeah, you are. You're really helping them out, sending everybody out to buy spices for 38 cents.
And they give me $5 for every time I say their name. You don't ever come out just spending your 38 cents. And you go to that store and you come out with a cart full of goods. Welder's jackets was... Oh, I got a story about them. I'll get back to this, but before I forget. So the clothing, we've talked about it there.
Clothing.
Sometimes their prices are a bit high, or about average.
Okay.
So I'm going through the rows looking for things. This is all new. I found a bunch of welding type work clothes that I just bought them all because they were marked way too cheap. But I'm at the end of the row, and this guy looks at me, and he has a shirt there. And he says, "Do you see this?" And I said, looked at him. I said, "Yeah." He says, "No. Do you see this?" And he points to the price tag. It was like $24 for like some shirt or something like that. I said, "Well, that's a little steep." And he just shakes his head at me. I said, "You used to be able to get some really good deals here, but sometimes it's going up." And it was 50% off this too, on the whatever. And he goes, "I'm not doing that." And he just walked off.
Not doing that.
So they don't. So there, take that, free advertiser. You lost 25. $13.90, whatever it'd be.
Yeah.
Not doing the math, but you lost some money because of your prices and not advertising on our show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And generic box store that sells games. I'll say Monopoly games.
You already said Walmart.
Generic big box retailer.
Okay.
All right, taxes. Sorry, derailed you.
Yeah, no, you're good. Everybody's excited about taxes come June time. So,
but once again, it's like Christmas. You gotta be ready for it. The summer slowdown. It's a good time to get a new system and sell your stuff.
Make yourself do stuff. The second quarter's ending, because I promise you right now, if you're doing these things, December will come and it will bite you in the butt. And when we meet in April, saying, Oh, dude, I killed it. I did awesome. Oh, well, you remember when I said about this in June? You should have done it because now you're going to owe $19,000 in taxes, but if you just would have listened to me, you'd only be paying 12.
Or at the end of the month there, end of January, when you're trying to figure out how much you did spend on eBay and how much you did report out and get all that paperwork together.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of time sometimes.
It is a time commitment.
So get your systems down and get doing it now.
There you go. Well, what else you got for me, friend?
What else, man? I'm just mad at places not advertising dollars on my show. I'm name dropping them. Waddy's come down. I think we're going to do a baseball meetup group type thing. If you want to go to the Ormals game, we'll get the date. But if you're listening, I've talked to a couple people that showed some interest. If you want to bring your kids to the ballpark for a cheap day, I know it's in Utah and it's probably going to be June, July. So it's kind of not the best, I don't know, long-term notice. But we'll go to the ball game, hang out as friends. If you want to talk eBay, we'll talk eBay.
Are we going Tuesday night?
Tuesday night. I'm glad you brought that up. So Tuesday night we have our eBay sellers group, local sellers group, and they're bringing in some bigwigs from the USPS.
Yeah.
So we're going to ask some questions. They had a place where we could submit them online or ask them in person. Adam is coming this time.
Yes, sir.
I'm committing you. Are you bringing the missus?
I'm going to look into that. I'm not sure if she's going to make the commitment, but I will be there for sure.
So we're going to go. And what question were you going to ask them? Do you remember?
The smoking policy.
So we're going to ask about why things smell like smoke. We're going to ask them why their systems aren't regulated and uniformed across the board.
Yes.
A lot of different variations. And we're going to talk to other eBay sellers and get hot tips and tricks and what's working for people and have a Coke.
And now that I'm back from vacation, back from doing these things, I told you I'm going to commit because I've got my own death pile right now. We are having it in a room here. I think we're going to relocate everything down below us in this larger office, and we're going to go to town.
So you went on vacation, did you have a lot of sales, or how'd that all go for you?
My wife put her handling time on. She had a couple that she had to take care of, but I've been pretty, I don't know what you call it, push it all on her. And I'm going to do it I'm going to do my own thing now. I'm going to do, not my own thing, obviously we do it together, but I'm going to have my own store so that I'm responsible for my own listings.
Wow. Was she going to have her own money to spend on what she wants then?
Well, no, don't you know what it is? My money's her money and her money's her money.
Okay, well, that makes sense then.
Well, yeah.
That's how you're married.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on, man. How long is it taking you to figure that out?
No comment.
I'm sure.
Comment.
Yeah. Which, I had a wonderful day. I had an opportunity to go help out at your wife's work today, take some wonderful people out on the wheelchair, and man, my life is 800 times better.
Yeah, so my wife works with people with disabilities that are in the state care facility, and today they had their big celebration. A lot of places have wherever your town is days.
Their Carny Day.
Their Carny Day, the Youth Stampede comes to town or whatever. These people don't get that because they live in a campus, and they're some of them are pretty severely handicapped and some are more mild. But either way, they're not able to get out in society and interact as much. So once a year they have what's called the Hill Celebration, and they have a parade for people. They have games. They have food vendors, all sorts of, just like you would have at any town. So Adam was kind enough. He has this wheelchair that we haven't even really talked about on the air, company that he's working for. He came up and participated in the parade, and you and the kids stuck around for a few, I guess they were games, saw the mini horses and some stuff, and then you had to get going. But they also had I had a beautiful lunch, pulled pork sandwich. I had ice cream bar. What else did I have? Cotton candy.
Good time had by all.
Good time. So it was really nice.
So my thing is however you think your life is going right now, I can promise you there's somebody whose life is a little more difficult than yours. So A, stop complaining. B, go out and actually do something for somebody else.
Now I think I'm going to have to put that Stop the Drama Colostomy Bag song on this episode. I think that's what we're going to have to close her with.
Okay, that sounds
Stop
good.
the drama. It could be worse.
Could be worse. You know
have
what?
A colostomy bag.
Yes.
Or if you do have a colostomy bag, there could be something worse. I just found out that one of my childhood friends, I guess we're still kind of friends, I'm not name dropping.
Acquaintances.
One of my acquaintances, his dad just cut off his finger on a bandsaw the other day.
Wow.
So you could lose a finger. If you got all 10 fingers, I mean, your life could be worse.
It could be a lot worse.
You could be homeless in New York playing backgammon for money at the park.
That was a real eye opener.
There's
no reason that somebody should be sleeping on concrete.
There really isn't. Not with what we got.
You know what I did?
This country.
I'll be honest. I did see something that I've heard about people talk about it, but it really makes. I mean, I saw a guy literally pull 2 perfect good bananas out of the trash can.
Yeah.
I mean, we look at it like this oh my gosh, that's so taboo, but I mean, this guy lives on the street and he's like, there's free food that's there.
It's edible.
We're wasters.
We are wasters, and that's why we sell things on eBay, right?
Exactly.
Society will, if it's under $40, people will not bat an eye to get rid of it.
No. Throw it out the door.
Throw it out the door, put it on Craigslist, put it at a thrift store. So somebody like me and you goes and says, that's worth $40. And we'll pick it up for not much and we'll sell it.
Speaking of that, I've got quite the large pile at my house that we're going to have a garage sale.
There you go.
We've moved to the place and we found the things that we don't want, and so we'll get you that information. We'll get that posted on all of our sites.
Come on down to the Prumpy Yard Sale.
Let's get as much of these items sold as possible.
That's the thing. So you're going through your stuff, and maybe it's stuff that you're like, I don't know what I'm thinking. This is too much to ship, or this isn't going to sell for whatever. You can clear out your own house, have a yard sale, or redonate your stuff, right? There's no hard fast that you have to hold on to everything, although I pretty much hold on to everything because I'm like, man, I can get $10 out of that. To me, $10 is $10.
This is a large cabinet that I would be difficult time shipping.
Well, that's what I'm thinking now. I might have to bring up some items. I might have to participate.
Hey, there you go.
Because I got some things I'm thinking the same thing.
So we'll go together. Let's have kind of like these group yard sales.
I'd also like to give a shout out to the guy that's been buying all of my wrestling cards in Peru, Illinois. I'm not going to say your name. That sent me a message that said, next Friday, I get paid again. I'm buying more. God bless you, man. You made my summer slowdown go. I looked the other day, and this month I've sold over 50 items.
That's in June?
This month.
That's we're only in this.
Well, I guess the last 30 days, so not June, but last 30 days.
So you're selling, quite a few items. In the
so that's the thing.
Down.
People that are in the slowdown just stop complaining, start listing, get stuff moving. If your stuff isn't going, get doing some research and find what is. There's plenty out there, and there's plenty going. Retail arbitrage at yard sales, thrift stores. So I can't say people's names. Person informed me that they think that video game company, they're like the little video game stores. I can't think of what they're called right now.
GameStop.
They think that they're on their way to go out of business. And apparently there's this scam going on that GameStop throws away a bunch of their video games and stuff that aren't selling, and people will go dumpster dive, knowing what days they throw them away.
See?
They'll go and return them, and GameStop will buy them back from them because they buy video games, and they'll buy back video games from people, and then they'll sit there on the shelf for however many days and throw them away and stuff, or people will go and put them on the internet and stuff like that. So it's not a very good business practice, but this person said to me, I don't think they're going to be around much. This is a problem that I'm even hearing about and stuff, and he's showing me all this YouTube stuff about how people are taking advantage of GameStop. And then the next day, I'm looking at stocks and stuff. I'm always kind of scrolling through and keeping an eye on that. Apparently, their stock has been tanking, and people are, saying that they're almost on death's door. So
you're saying you're business savvy, which I can guarantee. I will write it in stone out of our kind of friend group. There is not one person in that group who knows more about the stock market than you.
I don't know.
No, I do most of their taxes.
Okay.
So
I guess you can say that. I don't know.
That decision, that's a little tidbit.
Yeah.
That's a little thing. If you're looking into items that you think or places like, hey, they're going down, I think they're going to go out, like Kmart, Sears, Shopko, all these.
And there's still
places.
Kmart's and the Keys, remember?
That's right. Yeah, I remember. But you can kind of look and you can see because a lot of these online places are going, or these brick and mortar places are going out of business. They're consolidating. You see it all the time. Macy's, a large retailer, is going down. One of the things that we did is we went and bought some large fixtures for our hanging items. Hey, we got it for like $15.
Well, ain't not bad.
You can really, if you're in in the know, if you're reporting, if you can hear it.
If the people are talking to you and you're hearing
Yeah,
it.
you can get some good stuff. So pay attention.
Well, with social networking and Twitter and stuff, it's really not that hard. If you have an iPhone, there's a button on there that you can look up stocks.
Yeah.
You can go and put in the company name, and it will give you reports for like the last 2 years with like what people are saying. So you can read about this company and say you don't even want to buy stocks on it, but you just want to know what's going on. It'll give you reports, and you can kind of just skim through and see, oh, it looks like they're doing good, or oh, that's probably not doing so good. Like GameStop might be going out of business because all these places are saying, hey, GameStop might be going out of business. So not only for a stock buyer, but you can think, well, why is that? You can do your research and try to avoid the mistakes they're making. So don't throw your stuff out in the dumpster and rebuy it from people.
GME is their lookup on the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
There you go. It's that easy, people. I mean,
it's not rocket science, and if you want to get into that, you can learn it. It's just how it is. I don't know.
Just go out and try
Shout out
something
to
new.
Clark Howard.
This is Clark Howard.
He talks a little slower, so I'm trying to get my Clark Howard impression down. He likes when people kind of make fun of him, which I appreciate because he has a good sense of humor about himself. And thinks he's dull. But he says that on his podcast, most people listen to him in a little faster time, so he sounds like a normal speaking adult.
This is Clark Howard.
Clark Howard here, but he loves the NFL. The only TV he watches is NFL, and then nothing else the rest of the year.
So we'll end it out on this point. Been on several flights before. Had the greatest, best flight person, attendant, stewardess, whatever name you want to give it. Steward.
I don't know.
Gentleman had a mustache, probably in his 60s. Looked like Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World.
Real dapper gentleman.
Yeah, real good. I mean, just a good guy. He had this real, people, the aisles are not clear. Please clear the aisles. We need to be here for takeoff. If at the rate we're going, we won't leave until tomorrow. On again. Oh no, I'm not.
Oh, go ahead.
On again in about 3 minutes. People, the aisles are not clear. I'm not sure what your problem is, but we need to load. Please move faster. I've seen dead snails move faster and just on. And it wasn't just like one or two things. The whole time, like, he talked about, the video, and he says, yeah, you're going to need to watch this video about putting on your seatbelt. If you're not quite understanding this video, please come speak to me personally, and I will help you safety,
He hasn't been in the car since the 1950s.
He did say that.
Yeah.
It was insane, but he was the I don't know what you want to call it, the funnest.
He had a good time at his job, and so people enjoyed
exactly
what he's thrown down. We came back from Florida a few months ago, as you'll recall if you go back in the podcast archives, and there was this lady, how you have to sit down, and they'll say, you got to sit down.
Yeah.
This lady that just wasn't sitting down, so the pilot got on the intercom and said, ma'am, this means you too, sit down. I don't know what's wrong with people. What's the matter of them? That's one of my grandpa's phrases. What's the matter of them, or you? What's the matter of you?
Don't talk on your cell phone around other people.
Well, how are you going to talk to people if you're not talking on your cell phone?
Don't be in the airport telling me about your friend's got to have the power of attorney for, so you can get the money, or telling me, Dad, please give me, I got to have the car for...
What am I going to do for fun? You know how the shark goes to places and bids on cars and gets them down? I go to airports and make up emergencies and just walk around like I'm on the phone and telling people how tragic things are going on for a good time. You're telling me I can't be out there doing that no more?
These people...
Me?
I know that these two individuals were not doing it for dramatic.
No.
It was really their emergency.
If you want to have a good time and you're in the airport, just put the phone up and say, I don't know if the stove's off or not, but I don't think I caused the fire and I got a plane to catch. So that's your problem now, and I'll deal with it when I get back.
Wow.
For example.
I think we really do need to plan this trip and just go like we used to do at the local eatery.
I'm glad you said that. Grocery establishment.
I can't believe you hit them. You really hit them that hard.
If you look at me like that, I don't care how tall you are, how old you are, or what you're doing, you're going to get hit in the face.
Really? That's what he really said?
That's what he said. I mean, I wasn't there at the time, but they said the pills will take care of it, the rash will go away, and here in 24 hours, he's good to go out in the pool again.
And you got arrested again.
Hey, it's 3 strikes and you're out. one's been expunged.
Whoa.
So it's not really being arrested if it's off my record.
That's a true statement.
Yeah. That's what we do, guys. So get out there, peddle your stuff. I know we derail, but I think you like it. If you do like it, go ahead and let us know on the, the wherever you're listening service, 5-star, 2-star, thumbs up, whatever you can do for us. Share it with a friend, share it with a family member. We want to help make you successful in selling online. That's what we want to do.
Because there's always two things that are certain in life.
Those would be 1, death piles.
2,
taxes.
there you go.
And your life could always be worse.
You're up on stage now, in the spotlight, but keep your mask on. The show's just starting, it's never over, it's never ending, can't stop. You've got to be alone. If you need an easy solution to stop the drama, here's my resolution. Stop the drama, the sun is shining, you got both legs, and you're still walking. Stop the drama, 'cause you're not dying. It could be worse, you could have a colostomy bag. You gotta stick together, gotta stay in the back, don't wander off, no more kids might attack. Why cry? If it's not worth it, why waste the moment? If you're not dying, live life to the fullest. Ecce Romane, Monty Python. Always look on the bright side of life. Stop the drama, sun is shining, you got both legs, and you're still walking. Stop the drama, you're not dying. It could be worse, you could have a colostomy bag. And you go search for the dragons of Witcher Creek. Feel like Bowie in the labyrinth, stuck inside your very own magic dance. Don't you worry, 'cause you got Dan Cave and Mrs. Freeman. They're watching from the side, they're watching from the side. Stop the drama, the sun is shining, you got both legs, and you're still walking. Stop the drama, 'cause you're not dying. It could be worse, you could have a colostomy bag. Now I wrote the song, hope you sing along, but stop crying, 'cause the sun is shining. So start smiling, 'cause you're not dying. Partridge Family, come on, get happy. If you need an easy solution to stop the drama, here's my resolution. Stop the drama, the sun is shining, you got both legs, and you're still walking. Stop the drama, you're not dying. It could be worse, you could have a colostomy bag. Stop the drama, the sun is shining, you have both legs, and you're still walking. Stop the drama, 'cause you're not dying. It could be worse, you could have a colostomy bag. Colostomy